The air is thick with suspense as a character begins to connect the dots, wondering if, could Baekhyusol have had a clue all along? There is an unease in the air, a sense that something isn't quite right. The realization hits like a ton of bricks. Baekhyusol really knew beforehand and was acting like that? This changes everything. Our character is piecing together a puzzle that might just spell trouble. Deep in thought, the character's expression is a mix of concern and contemplation. Those beads of sweat tell a story of doubt and suspicion. Could Yusol be more dangerous than he appears? Then the conclusion hits. Then his dangerous. The realization that Baekhyusol might be a wild card in this mix adds a layer of tension and mystery. The plot thickens, folks. Meanwhile, we see a new face, though blurred for now, dressed sharp in an academy uniform. Who is this mysterious person? His attire suggests he's someone of significance, has seated with an air of confidence, arms casually crossed, and golden accents on his uniform giving him a regal vibe. This guy's not just here for show. Here comes a bit of magic with the title card. We're diving into the 13th chapter of this magical academy saga, setting the stage for more twists and turns. As the tension eases, the character lets out a sigh of relief. Phew, maybe things aren't as dire as they seemed, or perhaps it's just the calm before the storm. Daydreams of freedom cloud his thoughts. I wish someone would take him off my hands. Someone's feeling weighed down by Yuseol, and those dreamy characters seem to echo the sentiment. Two academy students are caught in a conversation. One queries Yuseol's presence. Yuseol, why did you come here? There's curiosity, maybe even a hint of annoyance. Another character tries to shield Yuseol from unwanted chatter, advising, you don't need to listen to this kind. All right, we've got a student with a cheeky grin who's asked if there's a special reason for his involvement. With a chuckle, he admits that he's there because of his less-than-stellar grades. Classic school drama, right? And here's our guy, looking a bit puzzled, wondering why someone is so interested in him. You know, that moment when you feel like you're under a microscope. What's their deal, huh? Next up, we got a blurred-face character who seems to be in a bit of a daze, while our inquisitive student is getting all kinds of curious. It's like a detective story, minus the trench coat. Enter the teacher, standing at the podium with authority, ready to discuss the infamous placement exam problems. These exams are no joke, with problems labeled as the 3 questions from hell. Sounds like a fun time, doesn't it? Our teacher is flexing some brain power, having cracked one of the hellish questions. Meanwhile, he's got a plan to teach some noble kiddos and maybe gain some influence. Ambitious, ain't he? Uh-oh, the teacher's not too thrilled. Has annoyed by certain students, but determined to teach these noble kids a thing or two. Talk about drama in the classroom. A closer look at our teacher reveals a mix of surprise and determination. He's got his work cut out for him, but he's ready to face the challenge. No, this is actually my chance. I heard that Baekhyusol kid got the lowest score in the placement exam. A student with a determined look plans to show has better than Baekhyusol, who flunked the placement test. Meanwhile, a teacher with mint green hair and a mysterious smile is ready to enlighten the class. Then, I will show him that I'm better than him. I'll show you how I solved it first. With a confident stance, the teacher prepares to reveal the solution, hinting that this problem is a kind of trap, designed to lead students into making mistakes. This problem is a kind of trap, really. It was trying to lead you to make an error. First, a student diligently notes down the process, while another seems a tad skeptical, pondering over the explanation. What do you think? Do you think he's right? The student, pencil in hand, seems lost in thought, weighing the teacher's words. His eyes reflect curiosity and a hint of disbelief. The student's friend, with a cheeky grin, seems to be in on some inside joke, adding a layer of camaraderie to the classroom tension. The scene kicks off with an overwhelming sense of confusion. Our protagonist is caught in a mental whirlwind, trying to decipher what the heck is going on. Has questioning the words of someone who seems to be throwing philosophical curveballs at him. The poor guy is wondering if he should believe what's being said. Still dazed, he continues to ponder the perplexing situation. He seems to be utterly confused about the motives behind these mysterious questions. It's like he's caught in a maze without a map. Now we're introduced to a sharp-dressed individual in a snazzy uniform. This person is sitting at a desk, pondering some ominous-sounding 3 questions from hell. Maybe this is the source of our protagonist's confusion? Back to our bewildered protagonist, who seems to have reached a breaking point of indifference, has decided to just roll with it, adopting a whatever attitude. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, right? With a newfound resolve, he decides to be straight up honest. No more dancing around the issue. He's just going to say it like it is. In a moment of clarity, he decides to admit his ignorance. Bold move, saying, "No, I don't know." Honesty is the best policy, even if it leaves you feeling a bit exposed. The blurred-faced character makes an appearance. This mystery person, wielding a piece of chalk, seems to hold some authority in the scene. A teacher, perhaps? The classroom setting becomes more apparent. Students are seated in rows, probably witnessing the protagonist's moment of honesty. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation. Another character pops up with a simple "what?" This individual seems to be reacting to the protagonist's bold confession, or maybe something else entirely. The suspense is real. The mysterious Baek Yu-sol is mentioned. Is this the name of our protagonist, or perhaps a key player in this unfolding drama? Things are heating up, as someone questions if Kyle is doing something wrong. There's a palpable tension in the air, as this could imply a conflict or a brewing drama. A close-up shot captures a hand and part of an arm, potentially hinting at someone's reaction to the situation. The mood is intense. Our protagonist is back in the spotlight, clearly perplexed by the attention he's receiving. Everyone's eyes are on him, making him wonder, what's up? The scene closes with a partial view of the protagonist in his school attire, still processing the attention he garnered. The mystery and anticipation continue to build. The scene kicks off with some serious finger-snapping action as Baek Yu-sol tries to nail the magic trick. But something's off. He's questioning himself. Am I doing it wrong? Awkward silence fills the classroom as everyone's eyes are glued to Yu-sol, waiting for him to make his move. Yu-sol's face peeks from behind the desk, looking all kinds of puzzled. His expression screams, "What the heck am I missing here?" Has decked out in a snazzy school uniform, trying to keep his cool, but his body language says otherwise. The tension is real. Then, out of nowhere, a fellow student chimes in with a challenge. A sly smirk and a teasing tone. Then Baek Yu-sol, "Why don't you come down here and solve it yourself?" Oh, the drama. The tension rises as the student stands there with a mischievous grin, challenging Yu-sol to step up and prove himself. Yu-sol's face is a mix of confusion and determination. He's all like, "Wait, what? Did he just call me out?" The disbelief sets in as Yu-sol's mind races. What the hell kind of challenge is this? His eyes widen in shock, realizing the stakes have just been raised. Yu-sol takes a deep breath, preparing to face the challenge head-on. A blurred-faced character stands beside him, cheering him on. "You can do it, Yu-sol. The support is real, but is it enough?" Ugh. Oh well. Our dude is walking down some steps, and he looks like he's about to tackle something he ain't too thrilled about. Maybe it's like facing a Monday morning without coffee. He'll just get it over with. Yeah, that's the spirit. Sometimes you just gotta dive in head first. Whatever he's dealing with, he's ready to knock it out, even if it's not his jam. As our main character steps into the classroom, he eyes a girl seated at her desk. She seems deep in thought, or just zoned out, probably wishing she was anywhere but here. Sliding into view, we see a silver-haired girl with an air of mystery. Her expression suggests she's got her own thoughts swirling around. Maybe she's the brainiac of the class. 2 dudes in front of a chalkboard, looking serious and ready for some intellectual sparring. The chalkboard scribbles hint at some arcane knowledge or maybe just a killer math problem. The 2 characters stand facing each other, ready for some showdown or maybe just a friendly debate. Their stances suggest they're prepared for whatever comes next. The character in glasses has a moment of realization, contemplating the 3 questions from hell. Sounds like he's ready to tackle some mind-bending questions, or maybe just survive another school day. Adjusting his collar, our main character is getting ready. It's like he's gearing up for a mental workout, prepping for the challenge ahead. It's more like a pun quiz, really. Oh, snap! This ain't just any quiz, it's got some wordplay twist. Our hero might need to think outside the box. For example, it's like this. We get a glimpse of what these questions might entail. Time for a little brain teaser. A mage cast a spell saying, "Dear Earth, shed tears," and there was double the amount of dirt than before. Why would that be? It's time for some magical logic, or just a quirky riddle. The answer is simple. The classic setup for a punchline. We can feel the answer creeping in, ready to drop some knowledge, or maybe just make us chuckle. If dirt cries, it's in a state of decomposure. And there it is, the pun we've been waiting for. Seems like our guy's got a knack for cracking these riddles, even if it leaves us with a groan-worthy laugh. It's ridiculous to me too, but this is really the kind of problem it is. Our main guy seems to be facing a problem of epic proportions, one that even he finds a bit over the top. I wonder who came up with these damn problems. He scratches his head, deep in thought, questioning the source of these head-scratching dilemmas. Who's the mastermind behind this madness? Anyway, that Kyle over there. The protagonist's attention shifts to Kyle, introducing him into the equation of this problem-solving conundrum. Solve the problem like it was some math problem, talking about the soil splitting when it cries or whatever. Kyle seems to have tackled the problem with the wrong method, but managed to get the answer right. His method was wrong, but he managed to get the answer right by a stroke of luck. Luck seems to be Kyle's secret weapon here, but it's not foolproof. But if there was another problem similar to this, he would get it wrong. The protagonist doubts Kyle's consistency, thinking another problem might trip him up. I can't really show you the way it's supposed to be solved. I can tell you where you are wrong, though. Our main guy offers some constructive criticism, or maybe just criticism. What? Kyle's reaction is a mix of surprise and confusion. He's not sure where this is heading. The problem mentioned Earth, but what if it had been water or wind? The protagonist introduces a hypothetical scenario, challenging Kyle's approach. Do you think your method will still work then? Kyle faces a challenge to his method, testing its versatility. Then, I will just use a different method. The green-haired student is being told he needs to do everything differently. His reaction is quite surprised, showing a mix of disbelief and realization. His facial expression shifts to one of shock or frustration as he processes the statement. The glasses-wearing student comments that the green-haired student's correct answer was merely due to luck. The glasses-wearing student further explains it wasn't what the test maker intended, suggesting the green-haired student didn't follow the expected process. The green-haired student begins to respond, seemingly taken aback, and acknowledges the truth in the criticism. His face is blurred, but his body language suggests he's pondering the situation, accepting the critique. The glasses-wearing student wonders if he might have been too harsh, worrying about the green-haired student's confidence. The glasses-wearing student starts to introduce a new concept or explanation, but pauses. He hesitates, as if reconsidering his approach or wording. The two students are standing by the chalkboard, possibly ready for a new topic or demonstration. Other students in the class are seen focused on their work, writing notes, indicating the continuation of the lesson. The focus is on a student's hand, diligently writing on a paper, showing the seriousness of the task. A girl with a ribbon in her hair looks surprised or intrigued, reacting to something happening in the classroom. How is this possible? Our protagonist is taken aback, staring at the scene before her, her mind racing with questions. The classroom is filled with students, all writing down what the lecturer is saying. Yet, our protagonist seems to be the only one struggling to comprehend the situation. Aicel and Hongbion, usually at each other's throats with debates, are caught off guard by the mysterious problem at hand. Both Aicel and Hongbion are visibly distracted, their usual argumentative energy sapped by the same issue that has everyone else on edge. Our protagonist's eyes widen with unease as she wonders, is this, okay? The question hangs in the air, unanswered. The scene opens with the sun setting over a grand, castle-like academy. The sky is painted with hues of purple and pink, hinting that a long day at school is wrapping up. The focus shifts to a close-up of the academy's illuminated windows, suggesting that the day's activities are winding down and the students are probably getting ready to head home. A character with striking red eyes and messy dark hair is seen saying, "Then, I'll see you tomorrow, Yusul." His expression is friendly and confident, clearly looking forward to the next day. From the way he waves and smiles, he's definitely got that charismatic vibe going on. This guy's charm is undeniable, and he seems to know it. Our charismatic friend is clearly in high spirits as he waves goodbye. His companion, however, seems a bit less enthusiastic, perhaps a little overwhelmed by all the energy. There's a pause, a moment of silence, as the other character processes the interaction. It's almost like he's contemplating life choices. The less enthusiastic character with brown hair and yellow eyes gives a small wave, his face betraying a mix of emotions. He's rocking a sharp uniform, but there's something weighing on his mind. Internally, he curses his fate, thinking, fuck. If I get involved with someone like Ma Yusung, it's clear he's not too thrilled about the prospect. His thoughts continue. Forget tomorrow. I don't want to see you again for the rest of my life. This guy is definitely not feeling the same enthusiasm as Ma Yusung. Finally, a deep sigh escapes him, a mix of frustration and resignation. His face shows a hint of stress, indicating that this is going to be a long night of contemplation. The speaker seems perplexed as they muse over the mysterious telephone, thinking it's probably the reason behind some unexplained events. The speaker laments their inability to use the telephone properly, but notes that it somehow grabbed the attention of Ma Yusung. The speaker is puzzled by Ma Yusung's interest in them, wondering what prompted this unexpected visit. The speaker reflects on the rarity of others using the telephone's power, mentioning only Flame as the exception. The scene shifts as a girl with vibrant pink hair appears, catching the speaker's attention. The speaker recognizes the girl as Hong Byeon, pondering if Baek Yuseol is strolling through a hallway, thinking to himself that whatever's going down has nothing to do with him. He's all like, let's just keep it moving. Suddenly someone calls his name. Dramatic pause. It's Baek Yuseol. Baek Yuseol's expression changes as he hears his name, probably wondering who's calling him and what's about to go down. Hong Byeon, with her long pink hair and sharp gaze, approaches Baek Yuseol. The tension's palpable, folks. As they walk towards each other, Hong Byeon steps forward, ready to ask Baek Yuseol something important. A close-up of Hong Byeon reveals her serious yet graceful demeanor, her hair flowing like she's in a shampoo commercial. Baek Yuseol is taken aback by Hong Byeon's intention to ask him something, probably thinking, whoa, what's she want with me? With a mix of curiosity and surprise, Baek Yuseol asks Hong Byeon, what is it, as the sunset casts a dramatic glow on the scene. Hong Byeon questions Baek Yuseol about why he didn't explain the solution earlier, clearly frustrated and seeking answers. Hong Byeon stands with an expression that's a mix of assertiveness and curiosity, arms crossed, waiting for Baek Yuseol's response. Our story unfolds with a young man deep in thought, pondering over his inability to explain something. He's clearly frustrated, admitting, it's not that I didn't explain it, it's that I couldn't. You gotta love the honesty here. The scene shifts to reveal the young man and a girl with mesmerizing pink hair and red eyes. He questions the logic of explaining a nonsensical quiz, leaving us wondering what sort of crazy test he's been subjected to. The young man seems to believe there is a misunderstanding happening, and he's scratching his head, probably thinking, I think she's misunderstanding something. Classic miscommunication, folks. With a look of mild panic, our guy admits sheepishly, I just didn't have anything to say? Maybe he's just shy, or maybe the quiz really was that ridiculous. Our mysterious pink-haired girl, with eyes like rubies, seems to have reached an understanding. There's a hint of curiosity and maybe skepticism in her gaze. She seems to have come to a conclusion and says, I understand. But does she really? Or is she just trying to keep the peace? The girl proposes, you didn't want to announce your solution at that kind of place, right? Suggesting that maybe he's keeping his genius under wraps. You know, like how Einstein probably didn't show off at parties. He looks confused, as if he's caught off guard by her assumption, responding, huh? That's not it, leaving us intrigued about what the real reason is. Our young man is left pondering, his expression betraying under a dim light, a determined voice declares, then I'll compensate you. Our brown-haired protagonist looks up with wide, golden eyes, utterly taken aback by this unexpected offer. In the hallway of what seems to be an academy, The brown-haired boy stands before a pink-haired girl who seems to be the source of the earlier bold declaration. He blurts out a simple, "What?" clearly baffled by her proposal. Continuing her promise, the pink-haired girl assures, "I'll compensate you fairly," as if this offer requires such emphasis. With an air of mystery and authority, she adds, "So, whatever you have in your mind, explain it to me." Clearly, she's not just offering compensation, but seeking something more in return. As she stands there, her long pink hair cascading down her shoulders, dressed in a uniform that screams prestigious magic school, she exudes a sense of confidence and expectation. Swirling confusion fills the scene, echoing the boy's internal whirl of thoughts and emotions. Our brown-haired friend, caught in the spiral of confusion, can only respond with a face of disbelief and a single thought racing through his mind. His mind screams, "Wah!" as the weight of the girl's words finally sinks in, amplifying his surprise and disbelief. A grand, magical title card appears, hinting at the enchanting world we've just stepped into. The chapter number 14 appears, marking this as the latest adventure in our unfolding magical tale. In this cozy library setting, the warm glow of the lamps casts shadows on the rows of books. A lone open book hints at some serious study vibes. The scene unfolds with two characters seated at a table. One, with striking white hair, faces the other, a young man in a stylish blue uniform. Their expressions suggest an intriguing conversation is underway. The table is empty except for the papers strewn across it, a quiet testament to the focus of their discussion. A close-up of the documents reveals scribbled notes and some serious academic doodles. This ain't your average cheat sheet. The young man questions the girl's motives, puzzled as to why she's paying for help with only 3 questions from a placement test. Seems like a whole lot of cash for a little bit of knowledge. She insists she has her reasons, prompting the guy to just spill the beans. He's holding back, but the curiosity is real, folks. With a hint of sarcasm, the young man obliges, addressing her as my lady while subtly jabbing at her mistake-ridden test results. Ouch, those academic burns. The dude points out that she got only these 3 questions wrong, which makes him wonder why she needs help at all. Shouldn't she be embarrassed asking for help when the rest of the test is, well, kinda whack? The girl, with her long, pale hair and striking red eyes, seems unfazed by the situation, declaring, "Not at all." Her expression reflects a mixture of determination and concern. She finds herself embarrassed by not knowing the solutions to the problems she faces. The young man, who appears earnest and focused, with his grayish hair and golden eyes, states his willingness to do anything to find answers. He admires her, thinking she sounds like a model student. The girl, still puzzled, asks why he singled her out specifically. Her questioning gaze reveals her curiosity. She looks intently, her red eyes focused, as the young man explains that, being a princess, she should have many friends to turn to for assistance. Finally, as they sit at a table, he reveals the daunting statistic. Out of 1,141 freshmen, only 3 people, including her, managed to answer the 3 questions from "Huh? What are you?" The young man questions with a hint of confusion, staring at the mysterious girl across the table. These trick questions were meant to be unsolvable, she declares with an air of mystery. But Ma Yusong, Flame, and you managed to solve them, she continues, dropping some serious names. So now I'm in a bit of a tough situation, she admits, her expression shifting to one of mild concern. No, wait, the guy responds, grasping the paper, his mind racing. Trick questions? They were meant for nobody to solve, he exclaims, disbelief washing over his face. Yeah, didn't you get that while solving them? She responds nonchalantly, leaving him in a state of shock. He's insane. He begins to process the weight of the realization hitting him. Now I understand why I'm in the S class, he muses, piecing together the implications of his unexpected success. The protagonist is pondering about Flame and the mystery behind being held back, indicating some internal conflict or unresolved issue. Our mysterious character is baffled by the intricacies of the world building, admitting that they don't have all the details. Continuing the theme of confusion, the character is surprised by the existence of trick questions, suggesting a sense of being unprepared. A decorative frame highlights a pivotal point. Flame stands out as different from the rest. Flame, despite not knowing the game's story, has read the entire novel, showcasing her comprehensive understanding. Her grasp of the story's settings is evident, as she must be familiar with most of them. The mention of 3 trick questions suggests some form of challenge or test within the narrative. An unforeseen twist arrives with an extra character who disrupts the original flow of events. Baek the unexpected character, has entered the scene, forcing Flame to recognize him. In a cozy library setting, we find a girl with striking red eyes confronting a guy who's lost in thought. She's curious why he looks the way he does, and he's obviously troubled by someone's past behavior, muttering about a reason behind it. The guy, still deep in thought, gives a casual "Don't worry about it," brushing off the girl's concern, as if trying to keep things chill. We zoom in on the guy who's rocking some serious contemplation vibes. With his hand on his face, his golden eyes hint at a mind that's busy, perhaps plotting or pondering life's mysteries. The girl, with her piercing red eyes, reminds the guy of a promise. He agreed to listen to one of her requests in exchange for help with a question. She's holding him to it, no backing out now. The girl, looking determined, seems ready to drop her request. Her pink and white hair frames a face that's serious about what she wants. The girl finally reveals her request. She wants her staff transformed into a magic sword, and she's like, "That's simple enough, right?" But the guy's expression suggests there's more to it. The guy gestures, perhaps considering the complexity of the request. His dress sharply, indicating someone who takes style seriously, even in his magical pursuits. The girl, a bit skeptical, points out that blacksmiths from his kingdom should be able to whip up such a weapon easily. But there's a twist. The girl questions the guy's choice of weapon, noting it's typically used by low-level mercenaries. Why would a mage want a magic sword? His response is simple: it fits his style. And there they are, 2 characters facing off in a library, discussing the peculiar choice of weaponry. The guy, with his arms crossed, is confident in his style, even if it breaks the mage stereotype. The page opens with a character's inner monologue, expressing reluctance to reveal his disability. The text suggests he's wrestling with the idea of explaining his condition to someone. The scene shows a young man with his face obscured, standing in what seems to be a library, dressed in a sharp academic uniform. He appears to be engaged in a conversation, possibly contemplating something important. The dialogue continues with the young man asking if the other character will take on a task. His expression suggests urgency or anticipation. A mysterious girl with striking red eyes and long silver hair stands silently. Her demeanor is calm, yet intriguing, as she listens to the proposition. The girl responds confidently, agreeing to take on the task, stating it should be easy. Her acceptance is met with an enthusiastic "nice" from the other character. The young man stands with an expression of approval, showing satisfaction with the girl's response. The library setting adds a hint of intellectual intrigue. The conversation shifts towards solving a problem, with the young man explaining the first step. His hand gestures suggest he's pointing out a solution on a paper. The paper shows writings, possibly a complex puzzle or code, as the young man prepares to reveal the method. The young man's face becomes visible, revealing his determined gaze as he begins explaining the method. He concludes the explanation with a profound statement. A change of perspective, suggesting a shift in thinking, is key to solving their problem. In a scene of self-reflection, Hongbyun ponders over a shift in perspective. She's got this long, flowing pink hair and striking red eyes, making her look like she's straight out of an anime dream. She's wearing a snazzy outfit with a fancy bow, contemplating deeply. She confirms her thoughts with a simple "yup." It's all about Hongbyun's weakness, hinting at her magic skills. The scene lights up with Hongbyun holding a magical staff, looking all majestic and powerful. But despite the cool aesthetics, there's a realization creeping in. It turns out her magic is strictly textbook, and she's caught in a cycle, unable to break free from her rut. This realization hits her hard in her second year, a wake-up call after a significant loss to Flame. After losing to Flame, Hongbyun is at a crossroads. She's faced with the need for growth in her magical abilities. The protagonist, sitting at a desk, is pondering how he can assist Hongbyun. He's got that thoughtful look, glasses perched on his nose, dressed in a sharp uniform. He acknowledges that direct insights might not be possible, but he can certainly nudge her in the right direction. With a determined thought, he considers his next move, plotting out. The scene unfolds with our young protagonist, whose face is partially hidden, donning a sharp uniform, is about to drop some words of wisdom, or perhaps just some cheeky nonsense. His lips part as he asks, "Do you?" The conversation continues, and we're hit with a curveball. "Know what a nonsense quiz is by any chance?" he queries, leaving us wondering if this is a trick question or just a peculiar way to start a chat. In the library's cozy corners, the young man is now fully visible, gesturing animatedly as he engages with someone. His bright eyes and confident posture suggest he knows exactly what he's doing, or at least he's pretending to. Maybe he's trying to impress or just have some fun. In a quiet setting, we find our protagonist, a young man with determined eyes, pondering out loud. In that case, his voice trails off, sparking curiosity about his next move. The mystery deepens as he continues, "Do you?" leaving us hanging in suspense. What's he about to reveal? His face lights up with a mischievous grin. "A nonsense quiz is by any chance?" he asks, suggesting a playful twist to their conversation. He gestures confidently, as if he's about to school someone in the art of absurd quizzing. The title card appears, setting the stage for what seems to be episode 15 of this intriguing series. Just a moment of quiet before the storm of absurdity hits. Enter our second character, a girl with striking pink hair and eyes like embers. She listens attentively, her face a canvas of curiosity. She ponders, "Nonsense? I think I've heard of it." Her eyebrows furrow as she digs into her memory for clues. The two stand facing each other in a library-like setting, the air thick with the promise of a riddle. Our leading man, full of confidence, says, "I'll give you an example." He's ready to drop some knowledge, or maybe just confusion. He poses the question with a cheeky smile. What's between a knee and a knee? Leaving her to unravel the mystery. She contemplates deeply, her expression a mix of thoughtfulness and bewilderment, before hesitantly guessing, the back of the knee. In a room filled with tension, one character confidently drops a bombshell answer. Nope. The answer is and. The other character with pink hair seems baffled. Our pink-haired friend is still processing the answer, wondering out loud, how? The first character, with a mischievous grin, explains the riddle, asking, "I asked what's between a knee and a knee, remember?" The pink-haired character is left speechless, only managing a confused in response. As things get intense, the room turns red, and the pink-haired character's expression shifts to one of disbelief, as if saying, "Really?" Trying to diffuse the situation, the first character pleads, "Come on, don't glare at me like that," hoping to avoid the wrath. In an attempt to lighten the mood, the first character suggests, "Calm down and look at this question." He explains further, it has formulas and techniques you don't know. With a touch of mystery, the first character reveals, that means you have to solve it solely using your creativity. The conversation takes a philosophical turn as he questions, but would it be possible to memorize creativity? The pink-haired character appears deep in thought, her red eyes wide open as she ponders the implications of creativity. Zooming in on the pink-haired character's eyes, she seems to be lost in thought, questioning the concept of memorizing creativity. The conversation kicks off with a firm no from our mysterious girl, setting a serious tone. The scene transitions with a bit of suspense as the camera pans, leaving us wondering what the boy's reaction might be. Our boy seems a bit taken aback but intrigued, his golden eyes showing a glimmer of curiosity. The mysterious girl, with her long white hair and red eyes, drops some wisdom. Of course, knowing many spells and techniques is important. "But hold up, there's more," she continues. "But for a mage, the most important thing is," and leaves us hanging for a moment. The camera shifts back to our boy, who's listening intently, clearly soaking in the lesson. The girl elaborates, "To look at the world beyond the boundaries of your thought," and we see magical symbols swirling around her. She emphasizes that magic can grow with even the smallest change, and we see her poised and confident. She criticizes the boy's current mindset, but you just think about things as you see them, hinting at his need for broader vision. Our boy seems a bit put off, but still curious, trying to wrap his head around this mystical advice. The girl drives the point home. Spells aren't just about memorizing and casting them, giving us the final piece of her magical philosophy. The scene ends with the boy reaching out, perhaps ready to embrace this new perspective, while the girl looks on, stern but hopeful. The scene opens with a young man expressing his thoughts, acknowledging that his conversation partner might excel at analytical thinking and judgment. The young man gestures as he speaks, emphasizing his point with a slight hand movement. Turning the tables, the young woman counters, pointing out the lack of creativity, which is essential for a mage. The young woman appears calm and composed, her demeanor suggesting confidence despite the critique. A closer look at the young woman's hands shows a subtle tension, hinting at the seriousness of the discussion. Suddenly, the atmosphere changes, and the young woman's face turns intense, possibly as she channels some magical energy. The young man is taken aback by the sudden seriousness of the young woman's expression. Feeling a bit awkward, the young man checks if his words were understood, hoping his complex thoughts were clear. With a sheepish grin, the young man scratches his head, a gesture of nervousness as he awaits the young woman's response. The young woman's face lights up with understanding, her red eyes sparkling with certainty. With a confident smile, the young woman, "All right, we got this character," probably a bit lost in thought or words, confessing they have no idea what they're talking about. You know that feeling when your brain's a scrambled egg and you're just nodding along? Then there's this close-up of a face, looking a bit sweaty. Seems like someone's feeling the pressure of the conversation, or maybe just the heat in the room. We all know that awkward sweat, right? In the next panel, we see some lamps adding a cozy vibe to the room. The character is relieved that their companion understood something, saying, "I'm glad you understood. Let's start right away." Starting what, though? The mystery deepens, and now we dive into the riddles. The first one asks, why did the man say to the horse while putting him to bed? As expected, the other character is left speechless, with just a blank reaction. Then we meet a character with striking red eyes and long pink and white hair. She's got this curious yet bewildered look, probably trying to wrap her head around the riddle. She repeats the riddle, what would the man say to the horse while putting him to bed? Still pondering over it, but the answer isn't coming to her. We've all been there, right? Her response is classic. I don't know, probably wishing she could Google it real quick. The answer to the riddle is revealed. It's past your bedtime. It's a pun, folks, the kind that makes you groan and laugh at the same time. Another riddle pops up. Why don't beds work hard? The tension is real as this mystery unfolds over some papers on the table. Again, our friend is stumped, replying, I don't know. But the answer is a clever play on words, because they're always lying down on the job. Yet another riddle challenges them, asking, what happened when rock, paper, and scissors entered a race? The suspense is tangible. Once again, she admits defeat with, I don't know. Clearly, riddles aren't her forte today. Meet our cheeky protagonist with his dapper school uniform, cracking a pun about rock, paper, and scissors. You know, the kind of joke that makes you roll your eyes but secretly love it. He's got that. I've got a killer punchline look, doesn't he? Our mischievous joker seems unfazed, as if waiting for an applause that isn't coming. Meanwhile, our blushing heroine looks like she's about to combust from secondhand embarrassment. Awkward silence ensues, and you can almost hear the crickets. The girl, with her long flowing hair and striking red eyes, is struggling to keep her cool. Her patience is wearing thin, and you can sense the storm brewing. Is it just me, or is it getting hot in here? With her eyes now laser-focused and her frustration palpable, she's about to unleash her wrath. Our jokester might have pushed one pun too many. The tension is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Oops, our jokester realizes he might have taken it a tad too far, and he starts sweating bullets. He's in the danger zone, and the girl looks like she's about to explode like a shaken soda can. Trying to avoid the inevitable explosion, he quickly switches gears with another joke. What did the cloud say to the ocean? He asks, hoping for a laugh instead of a lecture. The girl's interest is piqued, but will it be enough to save him? Her expression softens slightly, the joke catching her off guard. But she's still got that. Are you serious right now? Look, our hero might have dodged a bullet, but he's not out of the woods yet. Our jokester, with his face now partially obscured, delivers the punchline with dramatic flair, hoping to win her over. But the girl's just sitting there, contemplating the depths of the ocean. or maybe just how much she wants to throttle him. Finally, the girl sits in silence, lost in thought. Is she pondering the meaning of the joke or plotting revenge? Alright, so we've got a scene that's dripping with suspense. Someone's whispering, please. Like it's the last call for help at a karaoke night. The hair is long, white, and mysterious, leaving us all guessing about what's coming next. Now, we see this dude, dressed like he's ready for a fancy dinner with a side of business. He's clearly taken aback, almost like someone just dropped the bombshell that pineapple on pizza is actually a thing. Please. The plea repeats, and it's getting real up in here. Here's a close-up shot of the mysterious girl. Her face is partially hidden, but the intensity in her posture is palpable. She's got that thoughtful, slightly anxious vibe, like when you're contemplating sending that risky text. The dude is still processing, and he drops a pun. I'm getting a bit emotional. It's a classic dad joke moment, but hey, it works. The girl remains silent, contemplating her next move. And bam! The guy's like, oh, his face is a picture of realization, like he just discovered the last piece of a puzzle he's been working on for ages. She hits him with the confirmation. You got it right. Her expression is one of relief and admiration. This is the moment when everything starts to click into place. Just a bright blank space here, almost like a scene change is about to happen. The girl's hair and outfit are shown again, but her face remains blurred. The light is bright, almost ethereal, setting a magical tone for the scene. Her hands are visible, clutching at something, surrounded by flowers. It's like the calm before the storm, or maybe the calm after it. The dude's eyes are wide, almost as if he's seen the sunrise for the first time. Wow, this is my first time seeing her smile both in-game and in reality. It's a revelation, combining virtual and real-world emotions. As impressed, as expected of a princess, your creativity is on another level. The light is warm and glowing, giving the whole scene a soft, dreamlike quality. We wrap up with a table scene. The girl sits across from another character, whose face is blurred. Papers are spread out, and the room's ambiance suggests serious business mixed with admiration. All right, that's enough. Give me the next question, she says with a blush and a charming smile. The guy, with his hand on his chin, seems ready to throw another curveball. It's like a quiz night, but with extra sass. As the conversation continues, the young man in the suit, looking dapper as ever, leans forward, ready to ask the next question. His expression hints at a mix of curiosity and mischief, like he's about to drop some knowledge bomb. Then, the next question rolls off his tongue, leaving a mysterious pause hanging in the air. It's like the calm before the storm, the suspense building like a thriller movie. The scene transitions to a dreamy, starry night, filled with shimmering lights, creating an atmosphere of wonder and anticipation. You can almost hear the crickets chirping as the world holds its breath. Darkness envelops the scene, dotted with small, bright spots, like a canvas waiting for an artist's brush. There's a sense of tranquility, yet the anticipation is palpable. Under the moonlit sky, the castle towers stand tall, their silhouettes majestic against the night. The moonlight adds a touch of magic, making the place look like it's straight out of a fairy tale. The castle is even more impressive in the evening light, with its towers and arches casting shadows that dance across the walls. It's Hogwarts meets Disneyland, a place full of secrets and stories. Outside the grand building, students are milling around, chatting, and minding their own business. Their uniforms suggest an elite academy, where knowledge is power, and everyone has a story to tell. A lone student, dressed in the same stylish uniform, walks with purpose. His expression suggests he's got something on his mind, maybe that question from earlier. He's on a mission, or maybe just lost in thought. With piercing yellow eyes, the young man seems deep in contemplation. His gaze is intense, like he's seeing through the facade of the world around him. Whatever he's pondering, it's serious business. His expression shifts to surprise, sweat forming on his brow. Whatever revelation he's had, it's a big one. The intensity of his thoughts is clear, and you can almost feel the weight of his realization. I'm telling ya, this dude just spent 3 hours on some nonsense questions with Hong Bion. Like, who has the time? And now he's stuck thinking about the whole ordeal. Bion, I didn't expect to actually believe what I said, has seriously questioning his life choices right now, swarmed with memories of his blunders of the past. It's like the dude's life is flashing before his eyes, and it's filled with facepalm moments. Now we're getting a closer look at our guy. He's sporting those golden eyes that scream, "I can't believe I did that." Hongbyeon is undoubtedly an excellent magician with a sharp mind. Girl's got talent, but she's also got a stubborn streak. But her weakness is her rigid way of thinking. It's like she's got tunnel vision, and the dude knows it. But to exploit that weakness, that sounds sneaky, but hey, it's all part of the game, right? Even though she's the villainess, I feel kinda guilty. Our guy's got a conscience. He's not all bad. I need to quickly modify Teravan into a magic sword, so there's more I'm able to do. Sounds like he's gearing up for something big. Well, it's not like I can do anything about what I've already done. Ain't that the truth? Time to move on, buddy. Enough thinking. I should hurry and buy the books I need for class. Priorities, man. Gotta hit those books. And there he goes, wandering through the city, trying to get his head straight after all the drama. The scene opens with an air of mystery as we hear the whispers of the wind and a question lingering in the air. Is it around here? I can't quite remember. It's as if our protagonist has been here before, yet his memory dances just out of reach. Our protagonist steps into view, a sharp-dressed young man with a royal blue suit that screams, "I'm on a mission, but make it fashion." His eyes scan the surroundings, his mind clearly ticking away at the puzzle before him. As he walks forward, the tension in the air is almost palpable. Each step echoes with purpose as he moves toward his unknown destination. A close-up of his face reveals a moment of realization. His eyes widen slightly, and a soft gasp escapes him. Whatever he was searching for, it seems he's finally found a clue. A decisive moment as the words "found it" appear. Whatever it is, our protagonist seems to have finally cracked the code, his search perhaps nearing its end. With a backdrop of a beautifully painted evening sky, our hero stands, gazing at a building. This seems to be the moment of truth, the culmination of his search. The journey isn't over yet, as he